Wait, there's a version 2? Dude, that's sick. What got included? 52 new foes? Dude, that's a lot. New equips, skills, limit breaks, that's all good stuff. What are monster cards? Dude, is that like summons but different? New biome, dungeons, secret areas. Balancing in QOL is always good. Cheats and challenge it. Customize the difficulty. Custom quest menu, major changes. New set of equip stats. Oh, dude. I'm so excited to... Hi, didn't see you there. Howdy, everyone. Runt9 here, and looks like we're playing some epic Battle Fantasy 5, brother. Dude, I'm excited. So, obviously, trying to have a little bit of fun with the intro, but yeah, so happened to see that there is a version 2, and honestly, like, I gotta give Steam credit. When they said they were going to change the library interface, I honestly thought that it was going to be terrible. But I found out multiple times about updates to games that I otherwise wouldn't have noticed. Like, I had no idea that there was any plans to do an update to EBF5. I've done one playthrough of this game. I had a fantastic time. My tier ranking for this is special. If you don't know what I mean by that, go check out the Runt9 Reviews intro that should hopefully be up by now. And you're probably wondering, why am I stopping Hitman 2 after 5 episodes? Well, the answer to that, unfortunately, is my Hitman 2 file got corrupted, and also I was already starting to realize that my commentary during that game was not the greatest. I mean, I'm just not practiced enough yet to be good at commentating over that type of game. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot you have to focus on. It's very puzzly. It's real time. There's dialogue and cinematics and all that. And it just... I don't think I'm good enough yet. You know, I had to take a step back and realize that I don't think this is entertaining to watch. I wouldn't watch this myself. Whereas you go watch, you know, and granted, you know, I don't want to try to hold myself up to the standards of someone who's a professional and been doing this for a decade, but when I watch Northern Lion play Hitman 2, I mean, he's entertaining and funny and quippy the whole time, and I was just dry and not saying much. So when I heard that version 2 of Epic Battle Fantasy 5 came out, I was super excited. I thought this would be a great fit, and with the Hitman 2 series kind of dying, I figured a playthrough of this would be great. You know, my first playthrough took me about 30-ish hours or so. So we should expect to get a good number of episodes out of this. And with all of the changes, it should be a reasonably new experience to run through the game again. And so basically my thought process is we're going to dive into a custom game. We're going to turn a bunch of stuff on. We're going to mess with the cheats and challenges or whatever and try to just have a really neat, fun new run. Hopefully I've put the camera in a good position. If not, you know, we'll maneuver it. But I went back into one of my old save files and, you know, looked at how much of the map would I be blocking, what would I be blocking during battle, and basically it was either go bottom middle of the screen, which to me just looked really weird, or go all the way in the top right, because there's something in every other corner. So without further ado, let's dive in. I'm excited. If you haven't seen Epic Battle Fantasy 5 before, it's I guess it would be in the vein of a JRPG. You know, it's a turn-based strategy with an overworld. You know, it's got RPG elements, loot, all that good stuff. I mean, you'll catch on super quick. The game is very tongue-in-cheek. It's very meta. I've turned off some of the more mature options just because, you know, for me, I don't care, but for a YouTube audience that I want to, you know, cast as wide a net as possible, I want anyone to feel like they can watch my content. I just turned off some of the options. But in general, like it's a really fun game. I'm super excited to try this out, especially with all these new options. So I've kind of already looked through these. In my opinion, I want to turn pretty much all of these on. Bow Remix sounds great. You know, it's basically like, hey, let's run the Dark Souls randomizer on this. Different foes seems like fun, even though you may run into some stuff that you can't quite deal with. Weather remix also seems great. You know, some bosses will be trickier. Hey, that's fine. Equip remix is like an absolute must for me. The randomized stats on weapons and armor, and also the equips being in random locations, seems just awesome to me. I love that. And scaling foes, I think, kind of helps balance some of this other stuff, is that you'll never end up in a situation where you're just completely out leveled. You will always be at the same level as everything else, and also optional areas give XP. That will come in handy when we turn on an option later that disables grinding. And that's, you know, something that I briefly glanced through the challenge list, and that's something that I definitely want to turn on, because it stops the ability to feel like, hey, I'm underleveled, let me just kill the same enemies over and over and over again. It's super boring, it's super bad. If the foes scale, you don't need to do it anyways, but then you can disable that and enemies don't respawn and stuff. You'll have to excuse the sheer volume of water I'm going to be consuming this episode. I just got done recording that 1 hour of Runt9 Reviews intro, and here in about an hour, I'm starting my first ever Friday 5x5, so I've got 5 straight hours of streaming video games coming up. Today's going to be a busy day, so I am definitely going to be drinking a lot of water, and hopefully my voice can hold up. We'll see how it goes. We are going to leave it on 3-player battles, though. I like the tactics of having 3 different people in battles. If you go down to a lower number, I would just be worried about it. You know, not quite having the same level of strategy. It would just be unnecessarily difficult. Let's go ahead and dive in. I am going to skip the lore and the dialogue and whatnot, unless it's a new area, mostly because I've seen it before, and if you're watching this, you are likely to have already played through it. Either way, I'm not huge on lore and story. That's not one of the reasons why I play a game. I'm very mechanics driven. But also, you know, I want to focus on finding out what the new stuff is and enjoying the different challenges and stuff that we got to add on here. So I'm just going to skip through this stuff, and fortunately the dialogue is all text-based, so it's easy to do that. And so this is EBF 5. So I believe we even start with some random items. We started with an earth-shattering drill, hyper drill level 1. So we have plus 20 attack, although that doesn't appear to be active yet. Not sure why, but I mean the plus 20 attack and plus 5 HP is going to be nice. Plus 5 HP, plus 5 accuracy, also nice. And then, so the different stats, you got HP, attack, attack, defense, magic defense, accuracy, and evade. Pretty straightforward. How much damage can you take before you die? How much physical damage do you do? How much non-physical damage do you do? Physical defense, magic defense, same thing as, you know, magic attack goes against magic defense, physical attack goes against defense, and then accuracy goes against evasion. This is chance to hit, chance to dodge. Very straightforward. You've got 10 different elements in the game, and each of these can have positive and negative resistances. If you have negative resistances, you take more damage. If you have positive resistances, you take less damage. Very straightforward. Then there's a bunch of different statuses. There's burning and scorching, which is damage over time. Stun, which is losing a turn. Chill and freeze. I don't need to run through all this. There's a bunch of statuses in the game. So we also started with this. A little bit of resistance in there. A little bit of extra defense. All good stuff. Not upset about that at all. I like this weapon. The 50% element, I think that means that 50% more damage on earth skill, I want to say. The forge, we shouldn't have anything available yet, just making sure. Yes, we cannot craft anything yet. We don't have any summons. And from a skill perspective, we start with all the usual stuff and with 0 AP. Okay. Everything right off the bat, I mean, I don't expect much to be different. I also don't know. Okay, so we can hit the cheats and challenges mode. Let's go ahead and pop this open. All right, so cheats. I'm probably not going to want to do any of this. You know, I will actually turn on any players can learn any bonus skill. I think that adds... I mean, I know that that can possibly make it to where you can have one player that can cover all weaknesses. But I think for me, it just adds to the strategy of building a character up. Going to take 1 second here. Sorry. Having some allergy issues. Alright, sorry about that. Treasure Finder. Question mark appears over the player if there is a treasure chest or secret. Nope. Don't want any of that. Auto scan. Honestly, yes, we're going to turn on auto scan. So that's something that I did feel was a little on the tedious side when you're doing your first playthrough, is you don't know what foes are, what they're weak and resistant to and all that until you scan them. And every time you see a new foe that you haven't seen before, you have to waste a turn scanning them. I realize that's part of the game, but I'm definitely going to turn that on. It's just, it's something that I definitely don't want to have to deal with. So challenges, more foe resistance. Maybe. I don't want to deal with us having lower resistances. Counterattacking, more foe evades. So these are just like, hey, the foes are harder to kill. I think the difficulty in this game was pretty well balanced the first time I played it, but maybe we'll turn this on if we get some items and we're steamrolling too. Foes attack first, status antibody, even rewards. Dead players get the normal amount of XP and AP after each battle. Now, combo cap, the total damage multiplier from critical hits, buffs, debuffs is capped at 6x. No, I like getting to the super high levels of combos. No grinding, definitely like foes not respawning and backup foes do not give any XP. Love that. I want to disable grinding, especially with foes leveling with you. Yes. No, I like that. If you get revived, you don't get a turn ready. Rare food items. No, we'll leave that on. Hide foe HP. I think that changes the playthrough just a little bit too much. And turn time limit. I mean, I probably need that. Let's be honest here. You'll see why, but now we won't do that. I don't want to. Gosh, sorry about the yawning. I need to see if that's just like something that happens, because I don't usually yawn this much while playing video games. I think it's something to do with the commentary and the talking. I think it may just be that I'm not breathing enough while I'm talking, now that I think about it. Okay, so epic difficulty medals will be disabled temporarily while cheats are enabled. Exceptions have an asterisk. It's fine. We'll leave things like this. I'm happy with this setup. So just to make sure it took, it did take. Sweet. So let's go ahead and just start grabbing everything that we see in the room. Go over to the computer. Go check the fridge. We got some buffs there. Probably going to be like newspaper there. I think that's like a key item or something. Go check the cupboard. I don't remember what these are used for, but I seem to remember them being vaguely important. I think these are like crafting materials. That's probably all that there is in this room, so let's go ahead and head out. So we'll probably just get through to the first couple of battles and then call the first episode there. I know the first episode a little bit slow getting going, getting everything set up, but obviously once we get moving, we won't have that issue anymore. All right, so we can't go here yet because we need something to cover that gap. So, and I mean, my first playthrough was a ways back, so there's going to be some things that just take a little while to remember. So that was a joke about I'm a nerd video gamer who never sees the sun. And so I also am not like necessarily going to immediately remember which enemies are actually randomized. So we'll just kind of have to go through and just deal with whatever comes up. So right off the bat, from a skill perspective, this guy has a weakness to energy and negative. Don't think I have any of those, but I do bonus earth damage and you're not resistant to earth, so we'll bop you with that. That's a quick and simple one hit. So needless to say, like, the game doesn't really get super interesting right off the bat until you get, you know, a couple other allies and there's more enemies and stuff. But even then, I think it's a great game, even right out of the gate. So we do earth damage. He's resistant to earth. We don't have ice or energy, and I don't think we have holy or negative either. So we're going to have to just hit right into his defense. So let's just go ahead and attack him a few times. In fact, it may be good to go ahead and see if this does more damage. Nope, our regular attack actually does more damage because 50% of it is physical. That did minus defense, which isn't necessarily good for us. I don't think we have any... Yeah, there's no tactics or anything that we really want to deal with. I guess we could use one of these. But honestly, just keep attacking. Yeah, you can see that it's, you know, typical JRPG, turn-based combat style. You know, it's Final Fantasy Tactics, all that kind of good stuff. And, you know, you'll definitely see a lot of turn-based style games on my channel. They're definitely my bread and butter, what I enjoy the most. I love the strategy and the combat system and everything. I don't remember what happens if you do this a bunch. I think that's just an Easter egg. It just does that. Alright, so you are both going to be resistant to earth, but you're weak to a bunch of other stuff, and I don't have any of the other stuff you're weak to, but water is something that you don't resist, at least. Cool. We got some nice, simple KOs coming in. And so this is also something, is that you'll see different waves of enemies. So sometimes after you kill the first wave, and some of the tactics play into this, is if you finish with your last character and kill a wave, the new wave comes in and gets to attack right away. When you only have one character, like, that matter, but the tactics of when to finish off a wave is another fun addition. And something that I didn't do much during my first playthrough, but I probably should, is summons. It's something that I didn't really want to use that much. So this is the second character, is No Legs, this kitty cat. He will be joining our team. But first, we have to beat him in battle. He is weak to water, so let's go ahead and beat him up with a water attack. He surrendered. And I mean, obviously a cat is afraid of water. This one will hit with a water attack as well, should one hit it. And then no legs will join our team. We also leveled up, which you don't necessarily immediately get stuff for leveling up, but you do get just basic stat increases as well as get action points, or ability points, sorry. Over time, you can, if I go to skills, the right menu, you can spend ability points to level certain things up. See, you know, this requires 20. This is a really powerful ability. It requires 800. So as time goes by, you can spend action points to upgrade or gain new skills. And so I believe all of these skills were in the base game, or the original game. So I don't think any of these are new. But what I expect is that as we go along, we'll see some new skills that weren't in version 1, or some new limit breaks as we go through things. So all of this looks fairly standard, and they each have their own set of skills. There's 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. So each of these guys has 14 skills. I mean, that's a lot of customization. You will eventually get all of them, but that's really late. And there's also these treasure chests all around, and you usually want to go crack all of them, because you never know what you'll find, especially since the item locations have been randomized. And then there's also these steroids. So these are random items that'll be found throughout the world, and they are permanent increases to a particular character. So in this case, this permanently increases Matt's attack and defense by 2%. So obviously I'm going to immediately want to use that. And so let's keep exploring. So this is our first little town area. And the map navigation is this. You can see that we're supposed to be traveling up here, and every little section you go to starts filling out the map. This is definitely bigger than it was. So I'm excited to see what the new areas are as we get through the game. I'm already having fun. Don't think that there's anything to do here. And so these are our first two shops. Over here, you can see this has a cheeseburger on it. So this is a food shop. And so this person will sell us food. Oh, we have to talk this way. So you talk to the table. So you can buy and sell food, and usually I don't worry about the consumables too much, but consumables can come in handy, especially with some of the changes that we've made. I don't know what might be on the second floor here. I don't remember who does what, so I'm probably going to talk to everyone. Getting more crafting items, always a good thing. Then we'll go check out this shop as well. So this one is just various crafting items, I believe. And so we haven't talked about crafting yet. We will probably not get into that this episode, but later on, you will be able to craft or upgrade, I guess, different items that you have. And so each item has a level, and I think the level cap is 5, I want to say. And so you can see that, for example, if you want to upgrade this, you need 4 earth balls. And what it'll do is it'll increase these stats. Sometimes you'll gain new effects, like this increases the effect of debuff skills. And then there's resistance and damage effects that you'll get as well. And so upgrading items is very important to keep up with the scaling of the game. Now, I don't remember how we get to this treasure chest. You just click on it and... Yeah, so that's true, is using mouse controls for secrets does feel like cheating. That's how I've played it, and so I definitely do not move around with WASD. But if you want more of a classic experience that you have to find stuff out on your own, there are secret walkways in the darkness like that. I'm going to use mouse controls, sorry, but that's just kind of the way I play. So we got a new flare, And that is something that you can go... Oh, also, I didn't even look at what items that No Leg started with. So plus 10 attack and magic attack is good. Holy skills, not necessarily useful right off the bat, but holy is a good skill to have. Or a good damage type to have. Scottish cap, I don't remember what this upgrades into. And then boost the power and effect of thrown items. I don't use thrown items, so we're not going to use Santa outfit very much at all. So this will probably get replaced pretty quickly. But now we have flare items. Increases earth, death, and doom resistance. So this is something that every character has 3 different equip slots. I don't remember exactly what the equip slots relate to. It's like weapon, helmet, and armor, I believe. And then they have 3 flare slots. There's a bunch of different flare in the game. They do a bunch of different kinds of things. But for now, we'll just go ahead and figure out which one of these guys needs it more. They both have earth resistance. Neither of them has doom resistance. So No Legs can have this because he has significantly less HP than Matt. But we'll give him a little bit more resistance. So we'll exit here, and I think that's probably all that we're going to do in the town. I don't think there's any other secrets or hidden stuff. Once we are able to loop back around, we can push this block to the X. If you push a block onto an X, then that allows you to get a special treasure chest that drops from the sky. We can actually get to this one by going behind the log pile. It didn't necessarily get us much, but we could get to that one. We can come back for this one later. And, actually, this is probably a good place to stop. In the next episode, we'll go out this way in the town and start exploring more over here, work our way up to the current goal. We'll probably try to get through the first part of this quest. So I haven't really seen much of the 2.0 changes yet, but I expect that we'll get into them more as we get into the mid and late game later on. I'm definitely excited to do another playthrough of this. I can already tell that I'm talking more as we're playing. Part of why I think that the yawning is happening is I'm not breathing enough. I'm not actually getting oxygen to the brain like I should. Part of that is also my nose being a little stuffy. I'm going to go make sure that I pop an allergy pill and be good to go for the First Friday 5x5 here in about 45 minutes. Anyways, I'm super excited about this series. I hope that you're excited about it as well. Since I know that episode 1 is always the one that gets the most views, definitely the most support is needed on episode 1. All the likes, comments, subscribes, all that good stuff. That's what lets me know that this series is something that people are excited about and you want to see more of. Also, check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I see a shiny here. I'm going to click on the shiny. If you ever see that sparkle, that's a shiny. But anyways, thank you all so much. Ooh, man. And I got 5 more hours of talking to do today. I got this. It's going to be fun to do this for the first time, but I'm a little bit nervous. Definitely worried about getting tongue-tied. Gonna take a break for a little bit, have some coffee, get this video uploaded, all that good stuff. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. See you later.